Hi, welcome to HoboRec. I'm Ulf, and this is the Q&A number 2. So thank you so much for tuning in. I've gotten a few questions since the last Q&A session, so I'm gonna go through 5 of them here today. If you have any more questions for me, please leave them below in the comment sections, and I'm gonna try to answer them in the next Q&A session in 4 weeks. You can also leave questions in the comment sections of any video you like. I'll probably check the questions below this video first. Omega Death 1 writes and asks, if you had to buy 3 mics just starting out for tracking drums, guitar, what would you buy on a medium budget? Thanks. This is a really hard question because you want to go versatile. Just answering really quickly, I would say like 1 ribbon mic, 1 dynamic mic, and 1 condenser mic, but I'm not so sure. On a medium budget or lower medium budget, I would probably just buy 2 Shure SM58s and a more higher budget ribbon microphone like the Royer 101 or something like that. Then you have really good microphones for recording guitars. The SM58s are great in my opinion, and together with the ribbon microphone you cannot go wrong. And for drums you have the ribbon microphone as overhead, and the SM58 is great both on snare and kick and toms. You can check out my tom microphone shootout and you'll see that SM58s probably perform better than you might think. Someone called Pierre commented, hi, first of all, love all your videos and I have learned a lot. I have a few questions. What's your top 3 albums in terms of production? Can you tell us your influence in terms of productions? And what is the best way to have an analog sound on a cheaper way? Thanks a lot. Top 3 albums production-wise, it's really hard because I'm like changing my opinion a lot in that. New stuff comes out all the time, and the first album I ever listened to where I really thought about the production, that I thought this sounds really good, was Burn My Eyes with Machine Head. Maybe not that kind of production I like these days, but that was really amazing for its time. Next time I had a moment like that probably was the You Fail Me album by Converge. Really cool production. And also probably Songs for the Deaf by Queens of the Stone Age. Really awesome production. In other genres, I don't really know. I'm going really up and down. Sometimes I'm really easily impressed and excited about the sound and production of new albums, but I don't know. But probably those 3 are the ones that I can remember on the top of my head, just like that. Influences in terms of production. I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that. Kurt Ballou, who did the Converge album, was a really big influence for me. Probably still is. Also Steve Albini. I also think Magnus Lindberg, who plays drums in Cult of Luna and do the production of their albums. He's really great, and I really enjoy the productions he makes. Other than that, I'm not so sure. Probably should get more into this kind of things. And the third question was the best way to get an analog sound on a cheap budget. I would probably say that an analog sound is more a matter of taste. You can make things sound really analog without having any cool analog gear. I think the acquired taste of analog sound and having analog gear goes a little bit hand in hand. And doesn't necessarily affect the sound as much as you might think. But I like the analog sound, and I think it's really, really nice to work with analog stuff because it makes me feel better, much more fun to work with. I probably don't go for cheap Chinese condenser microphones. Maybe choose ribbons and dynamic microphones instead, so you get a more beefy and not so sterile sound, maybe. Master Success writes and asks how many microphones I use in a live recording. And I would say that's impossible to answer because that depends heavily on what kind of music, how many pieces the bands are. Probably usually somewhere between 16 and 20. If it's a standard like guitar drum based band with 2 guitarists, 1 bass player. Depends on how detailed I want to mic up the drums and if I want to use 1 or 2 microphones on the guitars. And also how many room microphones I'm going to use, of course. Danny Cross writes, and he says, "Hey man, I have a question. How do you get such crisp and clear audio while keeping the microphone out of the shot? I have a lot of struggle with that, and basically processing the noise later on makes the voice sound like it's underwater because of the noise to signal ratio." Yeah, Danny, I don't know. I'm trying to get good sound on my videos. I don't always succeed because I don't always have as much time as I would wish for. But right now I'm just using MyLab VM44. It's just sitting here on the table in front of me here. You see it? Let's see. Should get that out of shot again. So it's basically 30 centimeters from my mouth, and I of course have to treat it afterwards to get rid of some noise. There are some noise coming from the interfaces here, and usually I just use some kind of multi-band expander, so you can get rid of different frequency noise in different ways. So that's all the questions I have time to answer today, and as I said, please leave more comments in the comment sections below this video or any other video you want to. I will look through them and try to answer as many as I have time for, and I will try to get more time to answer the comments in the comment sections. I've been a bit lazy with that lately, but I'm gonna catch up, I promise. So see you next week for a new bull session. Take care, subscribe if you haven't already, and cheers!